Let's Go UW always in here early as well. Shout out to you, Let's Go UW. Says, good morning. Minkah getting disrespected again in the NFL top 100 list. You know, when I saw that last night, I started texting like, look, dude, we need to add this to the show today.
We can.
I thought about
we can talk about it.
I mean, we just right here, right now.
The one thing that sucks is that the list isn't done.
Right.
Because the thing I'm mostly worried about, 50 does seem too low whenever you compare him to the rest of the players, because I actually think he was higher last year. I think he was in the 20s or 30s.
Because he's 52, right? Or no, because Cam is 57, I want to say. Cam was 57.
I think Minkah's 52. I think you're right. So my main thing is, how does he stack up against the rest of the safeties? So they only have Justin Simmons ahead of him right now.
Right, because Jesse Bates came in like the 90s, if I remember.
As long as they don't have any more safeties ahead of him, it's not as bad.
Are you sure, though?
I don't know if they're going to or not, because they have Tyrann Mathieu under him, and usually he gets rated pretty good on those things. But
you said Justin Simmons is already out there.
And he's above Minkah. Right. I think he's in the 40s.
Yeah.
So if there's no more safeties, that essentially means they have Minkah as the second best safety. 50 is low. 50 is low for overall players.
Out there right now on the list right now, we got.
Let me look it up. I'll go on. I could just go on NFL YouTube.
Yeah, because I would say Justin Simmons. That's what I'm thinking of. Jamal Adams, I'm thinking of, and
they're going all the way to 41 right now. So I don't know when they're going to be releasing the rest of these lists. Mm-hmm. You're right. I guess they usually do have Jamal Adams up there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if he hasn't been on that list yet, they should put him ahead of him, man.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Jamal Adams. Yeah, so he's probably going to be above Minkah too. I don't see Budda Baker right now on this.
Budda's definitely going to be up there then.
They have Baker at 71. That's asinine.
And you know, Cleveland fans were saying that he was too low. I mean, he was too high up there. Say he should have been rated even better than that.
Oh, too high as in the numbers too high.
Yeah, they said he should have had a better ranking on it. Yeah.
Okay. It's official then. I agree. It's a disrespect, because I'm assuming they're going to put like Jamal Adams, Budda Baker. Maybe they'll throw Harrison Smith above him too. So
those three dudes are definitely going to,
Do you see what I was saying though? I want to wait to see what safeties they have above him. But now that we're seeing some of these safeties off the list that will probably at least make it, this is disrespectful then. This is asinine.
Yeah. Well, shoot, for me, man, I didn't want to jump the gun, but I'm starting to feel a little leery about even Tuitt making this list.
Oh, he's not making it.
Right, but that to me, I'm like, that's crazy when you think about the season he had last year, double-digit sacks. I mean, and the AFC, he's one of the only guys that was doing that in terms of double-digit sacks, interior D lineman doing it. And for him not to be even up there, like, I don't get it, man.
You want me to name some of these dudes in the 90s then? Mm-hmm. Corey Davis, Jason Kelsey, TJ Hawkinson, Jarvis Landry.
Exactly.
I can't do this anymore.
But then, like, seeing Jarvis Landry up there, I don't agree. Seeing Tre'Davious White that high, he's like 95, I think, on the list. Like,
I actually agree with you. I think he should be in at least the 60s or 70s. Yeah. Cole Beasley, 96. Could you put Tuitt in over him?
I would have.
Yeah.
I definitely. Even though Cole Beasley, I thought, had a really good season, and I could see Cole being a top 100 player, you still can't have Cole up there without having Tuitt up there. That, like, I feel like impact wise, I think just based on last season, Tuitt had better impact than Cole, man.
So defensive ends, kind of in that same range, like Jeffrey Simmons at 78, Leonard Williams at an 84.
And man, shout out to Justin too, man. Always showing love, man. But he said that he feels like Tuitt, man, he just doesn't have the same type of like notoriety and clout that a lot of these other guys that make this list have right now. And he does bring up a good point.
Probably having Cam hurts him a little bit.
It does in a sense, but can't we say the same thing about Cole Beasley? You have Stephon Diggs out there.
Yeah.
Like that's it. I mean, I don't get these lists sometimes, man. And I know they say they're voted on by the players, but I don't know, man.
Well, you talked about how some of these lists are done.
Yeah.
Players just go in and
we're gonna vote for
do it half-ass a little bit.
Team, or you might vote for just 5 people or 10 people, and that's that. But that's crazy, man.
Didn't someone make a big push to try to get a kicker in the top 100? And it happened. I think it was Vinatieri maybe made it one of those years. Because I think McAfee talked about it where he was like, "Oh, I was making sure Vinatieri made it."
For me, I just remember J.J. Watt making it, and he didn't even play that one season. This is when he had like the crazy knee injury. Yeah,
but they got him at 66.
And Tuitt out on the list. But that's kind of what Justin was alluding to right there, where you talk about reputations and popularity a little bit versus actually watching that productivity from that season. Because Tua balled out. Tua was highly productive. The numbers were there. The eyeball test was there as well, man. So that is crazy to me, though.
Yeah, Ben's not going to be on the list, so that's bullshit. They have Tannehill.
I was about to say, man, man, I know you felt some type, because I felt the type of way. I ain't gonna lie, I feel some type of way.
I'm telling you, though, dude, I'm numb to it at this point. I really am. The disrespect that man has gotten throughout his whole career, I'm just not shocked anymore. I know he's better than Baker Mayfield. I know he's better than Tannehill. I don't even know what other quarterbacks are on this list, but they're probably going to, once we start hitting the 30s here, we're probably going to be seeing a lot of quarterbacks from 30 all the way to 1. But he's going to be better than a decent amount of those dudes. Well, I say he's better than all of them, but you know where I'm coming from with that. I got my bias. Ben's my favorite player, but
he's like a beast, though, bro.
No, what I'm saying is like last year, I still have him based off just last year, you know, in that top 6 or 7. I thought he had that type of season. So you combine that with
statistically, the numbers are there.
You combine that with who he's been throughout his career. He's up there. He's up there with anyone.
Yeah.
And these jackasses that make these lists, they just don't understand that, man. They just want to disrespect him at any point they can. It's disappointing.
I feel like we fall into this trap. They know we passionate. They know we're going to talk about them. So you know what? Y'all want this energy. Y'all going to get this energy, man. Throw the list away, man. I don't like the list at all, man. Yeah.
Cause I don't. Who else? We got TJ. He's probably going to be in that top 40. You know he'll get disrespected, though. Yeah, we'll see where he ends up. Yeah, they'll have Myles Garrett ahead of him. They'll have Khalil Mack.
I was going to say, that's the one for me. Like Khalil, I love his game, but at this stage, TJ is a better player right now, man. But there for a fact, you know they're gonna have Khalil above that, man.
Because that's all we're gonna see probably is just TJ.
No, we gotta have one more.
I don't think
TJ. Dang, you're right. Minkah's already up there.
Minkah's up there,
Cam
and we have
is
Cam
already up there. Yeah.
You would think maybe one of the receivers could have snuck in at the bottom. But no, didn't happen.
Oh, gosh. Are we really? No way.
We'll fly under the radar. It's fine.
Yeah, because
we'll take the disrespect.
No linebacker. Yeah. Oh, man. This is nuts. It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, because Joe Hayden, he didn't make it.
Yeah.
There's been so many of these lists now up to this point where I'm telling you, bro, I'm just like, all right, dude. They've disrespected Minkah on like 3 or 4 of these lists, whether it's PFF.
You saw when Minkah tweeted, right? He was like, man, here I was thinking I'll have a peaceful Sunday night. And then y'all go ahead and do this right here, man.
Yeah, I was hesitant to completely go off just because the list isn't over. But as we break it down and we understand there's probably going to be more safeties on this list above him.
We know for a fact 3 of them dudes.
And we talked about this. It's like, I don't care if you have Simmons above him, if you have another player, like, what other player? Maybe
Buddha. You could say Buddha Baker, but I still feel like Buddha is more like in the Tyrann Mathieu vein than he is.
See, I'd be fine with Mathieu. I think Mathieu or Simmons. That's about it. But I'm still having Minkah 1. I'm just saying objectively, Minkah's in the top 3. If you have your certain bias one way or another, I'm not going to go crazy about it. But then to have, I think the one list had Minkah in like the 5 or 6 range, and then Madden had him in the 10.
Yeah,
like in the top 10. It was ridiculous.
But I wonder, why do you think they are like that towards Minkah? Because we know coverage wise he excels. We know he creates turnovers. The tackling part, does it need to be worked on? Sure, but I don't feel like the tackling is to that part where it's just all these other skills that we see. Nah, it doesn't matter. This is just that bad that that's wiped away. I don't get that impression. Do I think he can improve in tackling? Absolutely. Do I think we want him to improve in tackling? Absolutely. But I never got that sense that it was so bad that it was just this liability, and ultimately whatever he can do coverage wise is just, you take it with a grain of salt because of how bad this tackling is. When I see these lists and how they view Minkah around the league, it seems like it just doesn't add up, man.
No,
I'm not getting it, bro.
It's just being disrespectful. I don't know if it's how we finished our season that they're trying to attribute that to some of our players or not, but I think Cam at 50 something, actually, that's not bad.
But I feel like that is bad because Aaron Donald's going to be in the 50s. Not saying that Cam is in Aaron Donald's conversation, but Cam has been the second or third best D lineman for the past couple of years now. So when I think of how high they're going to have Donald rated, I'm like, man, Cam has steadily been producing, steadily getting Pro Bowls, steadily being a disruptive player in the middle.
So here's some of the names they have above him. I kind of get what you're saying. Grady Jarrett.
And Grady's really good. I like Grady's game a lot, man.
See, Cam Jordan, it's tough because he's more of the edge rusher in that type of defense.
Yeah, like a 4-3 style. Yeah.
No other guys on the defensive line ahead of him so far. But they have receivers like Keenan Allen, Justin Jefferson. Oh, they do have Zadarius Smith, though, outside linebacker.
Yeah, that's an edge rusher. That's like if they would have like Bud.
But would you put Cam over in a vacuum, Cam over Zadarius?
No, I wouldn't. But like, they're two different. This list is just has tough. Crazy impact. It gets crazy that when you start throwing in the skill position, because now we're going to have a conversation of, is Cam at 57 more impactful than what was the receiver you just named at
Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen.
Right, then like Keenan Allen, for example.
They have Mike Evans above him too.
And now you get into this issue of, well, how do you weight it?
Right, that's why
how do you weight that?
For Cam, let's see who they have listed after him in this top 40, because
right a lot of the lists up to this, the only one that's ahead of him. Right, a
lot of the lists up to this point have had him in like that top 5. They haven't been disrespecting Cam or Tuitt. They've had them both in the top 10. Cam around like 4 or 5, and then Tuitt in like 8 or 9 range.
Yeah,
but they don't have Tuitt in this top 100. Let's see what they do with the Cam ranking, though. They got him at 57, but you're right. We got to just see how it plays out for the rest of his position.
Yeah.
Like, what if he's top 4 still, being at 57? So it's not as bad. Maybe he could be bumped up a few spots.
It just feels so bad, though, when you see the number next to it. Like, God, you mean there's that many guys that are better than Cam in the league right now?
He's always on this list, though.
Yeah, he is.
They just consistently throw him on there. And deservingly so.